Oh, great. Yeah. Aren't we in a pickle? Our new Prime Minister has completely been left. What's the word? Inert. I mean, she wasn't exactly. I mean, she's gone from exploding to not being heard. It's like, what? I mean, yes, I consider her a fucking wooden robot. It's like the wooden Cyberman. But, you know, the entire premise of her leadership has been completely undermined. Now, I've watched a bunch of things this evening about should there be a general election? Talking about a general election, and I I mean, I know the Tories won't want to go for it. Nearly all Tories won't want to go for it for the simple fact is they'll get murdered politically. Um, I heard some poll was Labour 36 points ahead in the polls. What the fuck? That's ridiculous. I hear people saying, "What's Labour? How would Labour deal with it?" Well, we'll see. I mean, it's an evolving situation, and the government are the ones with most of with more of the details. So you can't expect Labour to have as detailed a plan as the government should have, as they don't have exactly the same information. Don't get me wrong, opposition gets hold of a lot of information, but it can't have exactly the same information because the government's going to want to keep something secret, aren't they? Look at the LBR report. So we know the Tories won't want to do it. There have been arguments against it that sound logical, but when you think about it, they don't hold any water. Like, none at all. That's one of the ones that I kept hearing earlier was Gordon Brown. Oh, when it happened with Gordon Brown, no one paid any notice. Yeah, but we went from Tony Blair to Gordon Brown, and that was it. And this time we've got Boris Johnson. We've gone from Boris Johnson to Liz Truss, and it's likely she's going to go at some point. And what we're just going to elect yet another one in. Not only that, but we're a complete mess. I mean, is there not a way to call for the constituents to call their MPs in because they don't believe they're doing a good enough job? I'm sure that has to be a provision. Surely. Now, again, people ask, what would Labour's plan be? Well, I bet you that if the Tories decide to call a general election like tomorrow, Labour will draw up plans for the current situation and showing how they deal with it. So people bitching about Labour's got no plan or Labour's got no plan. Well, each time they've been asked to, what would you do with it? They've come up, they've gone back, spent some detailed time on the problem and come back with a proper policy. So, grow up, essentially. Like, do you want more of this, or at the very least Starmer's Labour? Because we can't have any more of this shit. It's ridiculous. As I said, her and Kwarteng's mini budget, Truss's and Kwarteng's mini budget, is demolished. It's like it's never existed. Well, obviously it existed because of the fucking shit it caused the market, and surely that's another argument for socialism, considering how the market seems to dictate our policy. Just saying. So, here we are, and we are. I do not want to call what happened next. I'm at this point now where I get people asking me, well, what do you think's going to happen next? I have no fucking idea. The Tories are likely too scared to go anywhere near a general election. They don't want to do another leadership contest because look what happens over the summer. I don't know. I've genuinely been trying to think of what we could do to force a general election, but it's all very unlikely. I'd like it not to be unlikely, but it's all rather unlikely. So, yeah, no, I'm stuck. I mean, it is on the outside chances somewhat possible that the Tories could turn it round, and make it stretch out till end of 24, 25, but I just don't know. See, the problem is it's the UK public. It doesn't know when it needs to do something for its own good. Like, get rid of the people that are causing their lives to go to shit. Essentially, it's ridiculous. We spent 10 years of people voting against their own interests, and I personally have had enough of this stupidity. Yes, call a general election. Quite happily vote. Don't care if I have to vote Lib Dem. I will vote anti-Tory, and I suggest everyone else does as well, because this is it was really interesting because you had, what was his name, Ed Conway, I think he's from Sky News, and he was going over the graphs and stuff. I was looking at our debt margin and the different levels it was predicted at, and he said, "Oh, it's come back down below what it was in the mini budget." Yeah, but it's still above what it was predicted at the beginning of September. So, and she started at the beginning of September. So that's not good news at all. That's just mitigation. I don't see mitigation as good news. I just don't. Yes, is it better than what they were doing? Yes, but is it good? No, because now it looks like we're heading for more or I grew up the latter end of my childhood was, and the beginning of my adulthood was under Tory austerity. You know, all the way up to now, it's been under Tory austerity. I've had enough. I'm pretty sure everyone fucking else has had enough of it. But no, we need more efficiency savings. What are you going to cut from? You can't do it to the NHS because you've done that enough. You, you know, what are you going to do? Reverse Boris Johnson's 40,000 new police officers? Well, that's just fantastic for the Conservatives, isn't it? Not great for us either, but still. Well, you know, it's not like it's cut from social services either, because most of that's fucking privately funded. What are they going to cut? It's what else can they cut? It, it's not fiscal responsibility. It's fiscal irresponsibility. They fucked up. Now they're trying to fix it by fucking us up even more. I just not only that, but it's been presided over by a health secretary, a former health secretary, and former foreign secretary that was shit in both of his former roles. So what the fuck makes the party think that he's the one that's got the best hands for it? I just I don't know what to say. It's it's shit. It's what it is. It's shit. We are heading towards a political shitstorm and have no idea what's about to happen next. Yeah, I feel really confident right now. Maybe we'll get a general election next year. I just don't see it. Not on a realistic level, purely because of the fury that the Tories are under. I don't see it for shit. I'm pretty sure there was a petition recently to call for a general election that was cast out around 100,000 signatures or some shit, or more, some a bit, maybe more than that. And they were, you know, it's a large, it's not a small section of the country. Yes, it's, you know, not not half the country, but still, 500,000 people signing, you know, or 100,000 people calling for a general election, well, signing a petition for it. And it could have been more like myself who didn't even know about it that would have. So who knows how many people could have signed that fucking thing. But it's not like, and it's not like it's unlike the government to ignore petitions from the public, considering what they did to us pagans last year, for example, and what they're still doing. I wonder. I've been looking, but I've still not seen any more advances on what's happening with this supposed dual carriageway motorway thing under Stonehenge that was told, which Grant Shapps, former transport secretary, was told was illegal and still wanted to go ahead with it anyway. So, if anyone knows any more on that, could you let me know? Because I can't find shit. Like, show me a link or something. I can't find it for shit. I haven't found any updates on it at the least. It's either nothing is happening, or things are happening behind the scenes that I just don't know where to look. So if someone can help, but nothing is getting done. The agreements we made when we left the EU, we still haven't fucking honoured. It's ridiculous. And then I get the argument, the EU have tried to honour every single part of it they possibly can. We haven't. Because we've had a bunch of extremists in charge. We've had firebrands in charge. This is why I think Starmer might actually be good, because he's not a firebrand. Yeah, go for a general election. I'd like to see the Tories contest the general election. Bring back Boris. See if he can convince people, but I doubt it, because the people were upset with that cunt anyway. And not just the lefties either. No, his own party was pissed at him, so just let him carry on doing his money making lectures. I know what most of those probably sound like as well. Peppa Pig, that sort of shit. Yeah, I know that was bad, but fucking give me a break. I am struggling for words because I genuinely don't know what is likely to happen next. It would be lovely to know, but I have no idea. We are where we are, and we've got to deal with the problems that are in front of us. So, how would we deal with this? See, I had decided it would be unpopular to some, but I would raise the corporation tax to 23, 24, maybe even 25. Especially for the highest band, or higher bands. Income tax just up a little bit. And I'm pretty sure that's under different bands, so I can't remember what you do it under a certain part of the income tax, so it wouldn't affect those on the lowest earnings. It's about taxing properly. The Tories and the right wingers say, "Oh, the left just want to tax everyone, so you don't have anything." It's a lot of crap. If you can cut taxes where it's unnecessary, then do it. If you add taxes where it would be most beneficial, do it. But always make sure that you consider a balance and not just go completely one side or the other, because you screw yourself. Making these decisions needs to be done with a scale, some kind of moral scale, because I don't feel that that's what's being done. It's all ideology. Why don't we make some fucking policies out of actual compassion for a change, and policies that would actually help the country grow rather than just shoveling more money to rich people. Because every time an argument by Tories or Tory supporters is chucked at me of, oh, Labour will just borrow, 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 borrow. That's what the Tories have been fucking doing. our borrowing levels are the highest they've ever been because of the Tories, not because of Labour. So, check yourself, dickhead. Yes, this is another rant. I don't give a fuck. I've had enough of stupidity. I really have. I'm actually losing my shit watching fucking. I was losing my shit watching the Urgent Question earlier. Penny Mordaunt and his fucking smarmy face. You can probably tell I don't like her either. But then I don't like Tories. I just don't. There was that hot. What was I watching? Gods. What was I watching? I was watching something where it came up with Would You Date a Tory? I think it was Byline TV. No? No, that was it. Sunday Roast, Political X and Maximilian Robespierre. And it was quite funny. They said, would you date a Tory? I couldn't. Now, I'm more politically astute and more politically engaged. I couldn't do it. Especially if you're really, really, really Tory. It would drive me mad. It's not like I'm trying to be intolerant either. I can't deal with it anymore. I've had enough. We've had enough years of this shit. Life under Labour was better. Not, it wasn't perfect, but it was better. And we've had over 10 years of the Tories, so let's change things up, shall we? Before things get worse. Because I can see things getting worse, unfortunately. And from what I've seen of several Tory commentators, they don't care, as long as they keep their seats. It's not about democracy, it's about keeping your seat. They'll claim it's about democracy, but it's a pile of fucking shite. Because how can it be about democracy when you won't when you're trying to govern without mandate? Yes, you've got a majority, but you got that majority because you had a mandate. You've moved from that mandate, first in one direction and then the other, but you've still now moved away from that mandate. You have no mandate to govern. Go to the country. You don't get to govern if you don't have the mandate. King Charles ought to be getting hold of Truss, telling her you need to come visit me, and then telling her she needs to go to the country because she hasn't got a mandate. She doesn't. All she's got is a majority that's not even hers. She inherited it. People have been saying, give her a chance. As soon as she came in, she set fire to the economy. I don't want to give her another fucking chance. As it is, the Chancellor that apparently she brought in has taken over. So what's the point in her? There is none. Apart from to make the Tories look even more of a joke than they already do. Or are. Enough is enough for tonight. We need a change of government. We don't need a change in Tory leadership because that's not going to make a fucking difference. Well, this has been my Dr. Vizsla. I am really tired, really pissed off, and I'm going to try and catch a break, hopefully, because I know this just won't. Bless the Thursday, people. This has been Shadow Eater, and I hope you all have a good felt.